again. So, how have you been? What are your thoughts on today's match, Rajasthan Royals?
Hi, Sid. Good to see you again, man. Yeah, look, this IPL is just getting more and more exciting by the week. And, you know, yesterday, just to sum it up, it was Super Sunday. Those two games that we witnessed was absolutely incredible, and especially the second one, know, that went to a double super over that you usually don't get in cricket. And I mean, I haven't seen the double super over before. I was lucky enough to witness it, yesterday. And watching that game, you're just thinking, when is this going to end? It's like there's this two trying to you know uh, cancel each other out, but it's not happening because nobody wants to give in. Yeah, it was incredible to watch. But there've been quite a few other prior to that as well, which we will go into a discussion about.
Yes, I'm glad you have mentioned those super overs. I feel a bit lousy. I didn't actually catch up, but I'll definitely catch it up because when I look at the score lines on ESPN, I'm thinking, what the hell am I missing out? But yeah, that happens, eh? But yes, yes. But tell me something. What are your thoughts on today's game? Chennai and
Geez,
Rajasthan Royals.
look, today's game, you got two teams that are actually struggling at the moment. So there's a lot at stake here. I think, whoever wins this game would obviously try and push Kolkata for the spot. I think the other top three are pretty well settled at the moment. We're talking about Delhi, um, MI, and RCB. But, you don't have a chance your luck sometimes. This is a long tournament. I mean, anything can happen, But I think, this is a must-win for both teams today. As I say, both teams are struggling. Both teams are the wrong end of the table. And look at a team like Punjab. I mean, they moved up to sixth yesterday, and they have been languishing at the bottom for so long. Yeah,
yes.
and that's because of the number of wins that they've obviously racked up. And obviously the run rate as well. They've got superior run rate over these two teams that are playing. So this is a must-win for both teams. I expect a close game, which usually what you get in the IPL. I expect a close game. But as I say, it's a must-win for both teams. Look, Rajasthan had the edge in the opening game against Chennai because they played in Sharjah. But I'm not writing off Chennai here, they really can storm back here into this one here and take this game. So there's a lot of experience on both sides. And I think Chennai's got a little bit more experience. They haven't showed it as yet. They haven't showed, their magic and mettle as yet. But you never know when it's going to come off. We've seen stranger things happen. And cricket is a funny game, eh? When you really need to win, you obviously bring out your best performance sometimes. So yeah, it's a funny old game, and it's to call a winner, yes. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd just go with CSK, yeah. A slight favorite because of their experience, and they've been in the situation. Yeah, they've been in the situation in the past, so they know how to get out of it. Although they're not playing very good cricket, I haven't been pleased with the they played so far, but I'd give them the edge in this game, yeah. And it's a sort of game that that would suit them in a way. It's a sort of game that would suit them. They're not playing in a small ground today, so I think they play in Abu Dhabi, if I'm not mistaken. So they can obviously use their spinners and stuff and slow the game down.
Yeah, you're right. Abu Dhabi. Yeah,
I just want to recall where they play in Abu Dhabi. So that pitch is obviously a little bit better. It's a little bit better for defending us. It's not as brutal as Sharjah, where it's impossible to defend scores on that wicket. I mean, it's such small boundaries, and the margin for error is so little. So yeah, I'd give CSK the edge in this game here today.
Okay. Well, our opinions on CSK, but I think I'll get to my opinion once we go blast to the past, because now let's go revisiting the other matches that have happened. All right, so hold on a second. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, the one that happened on the 15th of October, your team versus Kings 11 Punjab. And wow, bit of an upset here. Punjab won by 8 wickets. What are your thoughts here?
After looking at yesterday's match, I don't see this as a really big upset because Kings 11 are quite a decent team. They just haven't got the results that that they wanted so far. But okay, just to analyze this entire game here, I think looking back right at the beginning, RCB, they won the toss, and Sharjah is a small ground. They were expecting to get 200 plus, but I was really upset with the tactics that Kohli, as captain, implemented in this game here. Look, I mean, AB's been on fire, and he's the best player. He's the best batsman in this team at the moment, and
Yes.
when I looked at the way they were batting and they were chopping and changing batting order, and it was so strange to see guys like Washington and Dube bat up, higher up than AB, and then AB came in at number 6 that day. I think it was number 6 at the fall of the 4th wicket. It was really strange because he didn't have enough time to get in, and show his magic because shots, and he's Mr. 360. I mean, he's a class act, and he wasn't given that time, and I thought Kohli, the way he batted, he was a bit pedestrian too. It seemed like they were, falling way short of a good total, and then there was a cameo of Morris at the end there, and there was a little cameo by Morris at the end, 25 of 8 balls that actually gave the score a little bit of respectability. It's a very frustrating innings from RCB. Because, I mean, even if you look at Kohli, I mean, he made 48 of, I just want to check how many balls that was. Was it 30 plus?
39 balls.
He took 30 plus balls.
Yeah.
39 balls.
Are you able to... Yeah, are you able to see my screen there? It should show you. On your side,
it's a 39 balls.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little bit pedestrian, especially in T20 cricket. I mean, if you're going to make 48, you should be striking at 25, 24 balls at 200, at least 200 strike rate or 160. And that was very pedestrian from Kohli. And I think he put the entire team under pressure there. And I mean, very bizarre tactics, I'd say again. Putting Washington up the order, putting Dube up the order. I mean, I understand... you want to give guys experience, but I felt even his explanation at the end too, at the post-match saying that, he wanted a left-hand, right-hand combination. Because they were playing off spinners. I mean, AB is superb in any type of bowling, be it spin, be it, quick bowling. And I don't understand why he couldn't back his best player, and this pitch would have, this is definitely a 200 plus pitch, and they ended up getting a below par total of 171, which, I thought maybe they could have defended it, but I mean, the way Kings 11 the blocks there, it was incredible. They really took they really stamped the authority in that chase there. It was explosive from KL and Mayank, and what a player KL is, superb. I mean, there's so you can say about him, but I mean, for him to carry that team throughout the duration of this tournament, and then we were talking about the universe boss making a return, and wow, what a return he made on that night. He started off slowly, which is a typical Gale innings, but then he just exploded towards the end there, and the funny thing about this game, it went to the last ball, but Kings 11 won this game way before that. It was just some tension in the air that caused this last ball drama. But it was quite tense at the end there, and I was against myself. I think we're getting another super over here, but then Puran came and just just ended with one big hit, and by all means wasn't convincing, but I mean, as I say,
a winner that win.
11 were deserving winners in this game because I don't think good batting performance by RCB, neither good bowling performance. They missed their length, too many times. They bowled too short here, too many 4 balls, too many balls going out of the park. it wasn't a disciplined bowling performance from RCB. So Kings 11 were worthy winners here in the end.
Okay, so after your team let you down, well, look at this. My team let me down in a big way. Look at this, massive defeat by 8 wickets. God, that was sad, man. Funeral-like performance.
Geez, man. Look, this was a really, really disappointing game to watch. When you look at these IPL teams, I mean, there shouldn't be much between these teams because it should be really evenly matched. But this was really one week, Kolkata. If you look at that score, 148 for 5, well below par. Well below par, and it was thanks to some low order batting, some from the low order of Cummins. I mean bowler. For an opening bowler, essentially, you're behind the game, and with 39 as well. But I mean, look at that from KKR. So disappointing, This was a collapse of proportions, look at it. I mean, Captain Karthik, totally out of form. I'm not sure what's going on with that guy. He's I don't know. For captain, he's not chipping in with enough runs. And I was watching that game, but 61 for 5. I thought to myself, geez, are they even going to get to 120? Or 110? I mean, it was looking so. They were really in dire straits. And then Cummins comes up with a magical innings of 53, and Morgan,
Yeah.
And you know what? You'd have thought, that could have given them some confidence to in the second innings when they came out to bowl. But I mean, geez, man, the way Mumbai came out to bat, especially the cock was explosive, and KKR, they had no answers. They had no answers to this onslaught from Mumbai. Absolutely no answers. They were totally outgamed in all departments. A very, very disappointing performance.
I hate to admit it.
Yeah,
man. It's like I call this like a funeral type of match. It's a good thing I didn't get to catch it up, but I did want to catch up the match because I wanted to see what the hell happened. But yeah, it's fine. I guess these things happen, and it's good. I guess on consolation is that at least a South African was a man of the match, so at least they're doing well for our country.
Yeah, I mean some good. IPL. I mean the Cock's getting in some good touch now. And I think that innings was probably one of his best IPL. He was swashbuckling. He was explosive. From ball one, he was hitting it out of the park. He was so fluid. When the Cock is fluid strokes, it's very hard to contain him. And I think KKR they just couldn't contain him. And their bowling's been disappointing in this tournament. No doubt about it. Their bowling has been disappointing. And this game just it's a bit as well. And even a guy like Treras, I mean, he's such a big player for them, such a huge player, such an influential player, but he hasn't scored enough runs in this tournament. He's been really poor from a KKR point of view.
Okay, so after two, I would like to call it two depressing. Let's go to. Oh my God! I think it's back to your team again. They're playing against. Rajasthan Royals. Okay, this was on the 17th of October, and this time you 7 wickets.
Wow. I mean, how much more? I mean, how much more can we talk about this player? I mean, he's just one of the best of all time, and he was the difference between these two teams again. AB once again, comes up with the goods. What an innings! Explosive batting. And I mean, look at that, dealing in maximum 6 sixes and 1 4. So I mean, he was hitting the ball out of the park. And I don't think RCB bowled that well in this game. They were a little bit short, too many boundary balls here and there, and a good over by Morris at the end. Got restricted Rajasthan because I thought they were going to make. I thought they were actually maybe 190, 195 in this game. I mean, the way they were batting at it. It was a brilliant last over from Morris. I think he went for about 4 runs or something. Brilliant last over, because, I mean, guys like Tewatia and Archer, they were just lining up, for strokes. And he bowled some beautiful deliveries, right in the block hole. And that's what you need in T20 cricket. You need to get that ball in the block hole, and make it difficult for the batsman to hit the ball. And that's what he did. And, RCB came out to, again, Finch, failed again. So what's the plan now at the moment up the order? Because it doesn't seem like he's, he's making the cut, hasn't scored enough runs up the order. I mean, he started off well. I mean, he 2 sixes, but then, he played one shot too many. And then, you thought this was going to be the innings from Finch, but it never happened, and it just goes to show. I mean, a player like AB, he's just so ahead of everyone else in this team, in terms of batting. And I mean, same thing can be said. I mean, with Kohli, I mean, 43-32, another pedestrian inning as well. I don't think he's like judging the game, the way it should be. I mean, yes, he's getting runs, but he's not getting runs fast enough, And in IP20 cricket, you get runs, Your striker is 60 and 200. You want to get a good total, or you want to chase the score down. And it wasn't for AB at the end, Only God knows the game would have ended up. But, it was a blessing in disguise that the young Padikal out the way, I mean, at the time he did, and in the 12th over it was, and that was a time for AB to come in and work his magic, and he had enough time to work his magic. Wow, what an innings, That was an exhibition. Fireworks, absolutely amazing stuff from AB.
But I think maybe Kohli should probably open the batting with like Padikkal. Then you maybe number 4.
Look, I think I'd actually be happy with Kohli opening the innings with Padikkal and Finch probably down the order. That in a way would probably strengthen the batting a bit. Would Finch coming in at 3. I mean, only time will tell whether they would go with that formula or they give another chance. But, this guy's running out of chances now, I mean, how many more chances can you give him, to get it right? I mean, you're probably going into your 10th game now, and you should know your best team at the moment. And there is a guy like Patlo, waiting in the wings, for his chance. So you never know. I mean, they might just hit a swap with, Finch and Patel coming in, and he can keep wicket as well. So, he adds that value to the team as well. So, it'll be interesting to see what they can do. But I'd prefer Kohli to open the innings with Padikkal, definitely.
Okay, and the next game, which really, when I saw this match on, this game really irritated the hell out of me. You drop a guy 4 times, and you expect to win the match. Fine, credit to Dhawan, but ridiculous, man. Chennai has fitted themselves. They should have won this match.
Oh, jeez, man. Chennai. I mean, this performance just really just sums up Chennai's season. It's been so inconsistent. You don't know when. You don't know which team is going to pitch up on the day. Which Chennai team is going to pitch up on the day. And I actually thought they had a good total on their hands here, 179 for 4.
Yeah.
And they had the attack to obviously restrict Delhi. But I mean, Dhawan, what an innings, vintage, probably vintage Dhawan. But I mean, as you say, he was dropped 4 times, It was crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy. And I think the one hampering Chennai this season is a guy like Watson. He's an all-rounder in the team, and he's not been bowling any overs at all. And I think an over of Watson, an over or 2 of Watson, probably would have swung the game towards CSK's, probably would have won the game against CSK's side. Because if you look at Delhi towards the end, I mean, they were just lining up the spinners, and they were hitting them arc, and there was no way out of this, I think it was a poor decision from Dhoni as well to let Jadeja bowl final over, and that just was, and you look at those balls that he bowled, and it was all a slot, all hit me balls,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just hit him out of the park. It
yeah, man. He was
was
better bowling Yorkers.
captaincy move from. No, they
Yeah,
didn't get the Yorkers. As I say, the discipline was not there.
yeah, that's the problem.
He probably should have kept one of his fast bowlers for the final over, because it was getting
Yeah,
so tight. But he didn't. He left the responsibility to a spinner, which I think is always tricky. When you're playing in a smaller stadium, where the boundaries are short. Yeah, very very strange tactics from Dhoni as well. And I think the innings from CSK as well. They could have. They would have wanted more, but they're not getting enough runs at the moment. They're stuttering a lot. Their middle order as well. They're not getting enough runs on the board, and the players just going out at the wrong times. If you look at that innings, Faf, 58 or 47 balls. It was a little bit pedestrian, I must say. It took a while to get into the innings, but look at Jadeja. 33 of 13 balls. This guy he's got talent, man. He's got talent. He actually should be batting up the order, and I think I don't know. I'm not sure what's the game plan from CSK, but I would actually put him up the order. And make him open the innings because he's been explosive. This guy's got a lot of talent in him with the bat. And for him to be batting so low down the order, I think it's hampering CSK in a way.
yeah, you are right. So let's get to the last two matches that went to the super overs. You had mentioned it at the beginning, so let's get into them now. Kolkata and Sunrisers. It's a shame. I wanted to watch the last two on catch up, but hopefully I can catch it up now after our chat here, because this one went to the last, and I was happy that my team won this one off the one over eliminator.
Cow come with the man, Lockie Ferguson. What a performance! What a bowling performance from the Kiwi paceman. Where was this guy? Where was this guy from the start of the tournament? And he bowled an incredible super over. And let's not make any illusions here. Kolkata didn't play well in this game. They didn't play well in this game. And a guy like Ferguson bailed them out in it. I thought 163 was a below par total. They obviously wanted more than that, but their batting lineup is not confident at the moment. As I say, that's going to be a concern for them going forward. And then Sunrisers. Full credit to Sunrisers. Game, it was crazy cricket. KKR could have won it in the 20 years old. Sunrisers could have won it, and then it had to come down to the super over. Sometimes you feel it's not a true reflection of the game in a way, because it's all got to be done in the super over. That's a test of pressure. If you can handle the pressure in the super over, you win the game. And then, Ferguson, he bowled two beautiful balls. One to Mana, he knocked off. And then Samad as well. Samad came in and he bowled him as well. So two beautiful deliveries. He hit the top of off stump and bowled both batsmen. And I feel he was a difference. For both teams in this game. He was here and a worthy man of the match. Incredible fast bowling from Ferguson. Incredible, and it's just what a team like needed. KKR, a team that's been struggling at the moment, just what he needed. They needed that boost, and he brought that boost. And I don't know what's your thoughts on him, but I think it was a sensational performance and one of the best we've seen in the IPL to date.
Yeah, it's a shame I couldn't catch this matchup, but I'll definitely catch it up soon because, yeah, man, it's good that my team did win, even if it wasn't the Super. So on the last match, which was obviously yesterday, it's one of my teams against Punjab, and this was one that Punjab surprisingly won of the Super Over. I was a bit irritated, but it's good that Punjab did win. Makes the competition exciting.
Before we realize this match,
Okay.
just two things. T20 game of the tournament. I think the longest T20 game in the IPL history. So, there's not going to be that are going to match this for drama. I mean, absolute drama, right till the end. I watching this game, Mumbai made 176, and the way Kings 11 came out to chase the score down, they were so confident. They were hitting the ball, they were putting the bad balls in, and they really put Emma under pressure. And I think this was the first time in a long time that Emma had been under a bit of pressure in the tournament. With their bowling. The bowling wasn't all there today. They were too expensive. They were tad expensive. In the middle overs as well, and even towards the end. And that's what made this game into such a thriller that it turned out to be. Okay, 176 versus 176. You go to a super over, the first super over. Kings 11 has first strike of it, and Bumrah comes in, and you know how difficult it is to get Bumrah off away, and with the Yorkers and all, and he really made it difficult, and they managed to get 5 runs, which I thought was, but then here comes Shami, and Shami managed to defend that 5 runs in the Mumbai innings. Wow. And to see guys like the Cock and Sharma make so many errors in chasing that total was quite strange to see. They just weren't muddling it, and credit to Shami, because Shami pitched that ball in the block hole, and I was hearing after the game that he wanted to bowl 6 Yorkers, and he really executed it to perfection there in that super over. And then if we had to go to a second super over, which was, I'm thinking to myself, this is getting exhausting now watching this game. Are we going to get a winner yet? Are we even going to get a winner yet? And finally,
second super over, finally, I really need to.
My God, second super over, and finally, the universe Vops comes up with the goods, and he hits the ball out of the ground. First ball of Trent Boult hits him out of the ground for 6, and that just takes the pressure off Kings 11, and then Mayank hits the ball through the covers for 4, and then that was it. And then towards the end, he hit that boundary, and you could hear the screams from Mayank, and he was so relieved, and actually I was relieved that they did, and I was actually happy for Kings 11 in a way, being the underdogs in this game, and amazing performance. I think they deserved it. I think judging, there was so little choose between both teams gave it their all, and I would think that Kings 11 just tipped it. Yeah, they showed more intent for the bat, than MI. I would say in that innings they came out with an intent to win the game. So I think they deserve to win the game in the end.
Yeah, actually, on a final note, when I look at this table, let me just go back to the share screen again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, like if you see the screen here, Dedo the number 1, Mumbai is number 2, your team's number 3, and KKR. Funny enough, the table is still remaining true, even from the last time we chatted. So do you think it's going to remain this way, or do you think Punjab are going to squeak here, along with Sunrisers?
As I say, today's game is really going to make or break one of these teams, especially CSK.
Yes.
I mean, CSK really have to win today. Look, KKR 10 points.
Yes.
KKR haven't played their best cricket so far. They're beating in a lot of games. Yeah. So I'm not sure if they have played their best cricket so far. RCB are looking quite as a team. Apologies. MI as well. They're looking quite settled as a team. DC have been sensational. I mean, the team of the tournament for, and they're going to be defeat. But I know there's no team that's beatable in this tournament so far. But if I had to, it's difficult at the moment. If I had to pick a top 4, judging by this table here, I'd go for DC. I'd go for RCB, MI. I think I got a feeling RCB can finish second on this table, just behind DC, and then MI in third.
All right.
And then it's going to be a fight between CSK and
same thought as well.
KKR for fourth spot. That's going to be gripping.
It could also be.
It's going to be gripping to watch. It's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
It's really going to be a dogfight.
Call me crazy, but I think call me crazy, but I think Sun, rather than this team here, Kings 11 could also pull up, could also say something here. I'll tell you why, because
most certainly,
if Sun,
most certainly, they're
I don't
going to have a big
write
say.
off.
And
I think this team here, Rajasthan, I don't think stand a chance of making top 4 this year. I think they won't make it, but I think the top 7 are always in the game for that spot.
Yeah, I mean, look, KKR. There was a big win for KKR because it gave them some breathing space there, over Sunrisers and the rest of the pack. But as I say, you dare not write anyone off here. I mean, as I was saying, the next game is going to be so crucial. Today, it's actually going to set it up. It's actually going to set the table up because who wins today is going to climb up to 5th, and I know. Chennai are going to be, raring to go in this game, and they're going to give it their all against Rajasthan. So, Rajasthan just haven't looked the part in this tournament at all. Really been disappointing. I don't know what your thoughts on them, but they started off so bright, been disappointing. Thereafter.
No,
what are your thoughts on Rajasthan?
My thoughts are that. I kind of write them off making the top 4 because they've just been so up and down. I mean, I just find them irritating to watch. And then also another thing is that I feel that CSK, as you mentioned today, I feel you spoke most of what I thought about. I mean, they're a team that really likes to play when it's pressure situations, and that they kind of relish these kind of situations. So I kind of expect them also to win, and then I would be, but then. Not to sound insulting to CSK, because they have won this title many times, but I would find it a bit of a miracle if they win this year. I would really find it one of the biggest comebacks of IPL history if CSK won this year. And that also probably includes my team as well. Look, if I not really, I think, I see my team more winning than. Okay.
What I'm saying is,
I was saying that I see my team more winning compared to CSK actually. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. For them, I think, But even if they make playoffs, they've been so scratchy.
What I'm suggesting here is it's going to be difficult for CSK to even make the playoffs, let alone win the tournament. So let us say they're going to be fighting. They're a fighting team, so they're going to be fighting till the end. Yeah. So I mean, KKR is going to play a lot of pressure, because I think the game between KKR is definitely going to be a huge game for both teams, because whoever wins that game would probably, make the top 4. So, as I say, if SK win today, they're going to be up to 8 points. I don't give Rajasthan much of a chance here today, but I mean, we could be wrong again, As I say, they've been one of the sides that have been really inconsistent. They haven't scored enough runs. They haven't taken enough wickets, and even the game against Delhi, which was a show for them, and the way they stuffed that game up, it was really disappointing. And I feel even with Stokes on the side, it's not really making much difference. I don't know what's your take with Stokes' team. It's not really making much difference at the moment. The performance.
Yeah, I feel, but the problem is it's not a one team situation, everyone's got to pitch in equally. So even if you have
Absolutely.
the greatest players, it's like if you look at your team, for example, you can't depend on two players. Like you can't have AB and Kohli doing all the work. So I think this year, what's made it great for your team is that it could be a
100%.
change of environment. It could be like a change of environment. Maybe that's why they're playing so well. Because I think when they're at home, there's so much pressure on them because of how much talent there is. Now, when you're in a country like Dubai, there's less pressure banging on your head. So also, I think they must have had a nice team bonding exercise because they went to Dubai early or wherever they. So I think, and also I had a good feeling your team were going to perform because there was so much hype around it this year. I mean, good hype, not like over the top hype. It was more like things were much more balanced mentally. So yeah, I had a feeling, but I didn't want to get overexcited or get too worried
I
because that
have
would
to
that
agree with
faith
you
and
when you
take
talk
them out.
about. Yeah, I have to agree with you when you're talking about home ground pressure, and I think RCB are performing very well because they're not playing, so there's no pressure of the crowd. There's no
Mm,
they're not there's no added pressure from the fans as well, so they can just go about their business.
mm,
I think they are the side that actually are performing much better in these conditions uh, than most of the. They're just going in and getting their job done quietly, I think they're putting a lot of work this year into their performances. They're trying to get the consistency going, which there hasn't been there in years gone by, and it's been a while that been in the top three at this stage in the competition, and I thought he wouldn't want to lose that, and even with AB as well, they wouldn't want to lose that top three position, at the moment. I expect them to playoffs, and anything after is just a bonus for RCB at the moment. I'd love them to go to this tournament. A guy like AB, year in he's just racking up these performances, these world class batting performances, and this guy deserves a lot more. That's that he's got already in the IPL. I think he's probably
yeah.
I think he's probably the greatest player in the IPL at the moment to have not won it. Probably the greatest batsman in
Mm.
the IPL to have not lifted the title. Definitely one of the best. And any team in the IPL would want AB in their team. Top player.
Yeah, obviously. But then,
I mean,
yeah,
he's so
but
explosive.
then RCB
He's
will
got
never
all
let
the
it
shots
go.
in the book.
So it'll never
No,
happen. But then,
absolutely,
which makes me wonder
absolutely
why
not.
did yeah. And you know what's even worse for RCB? They even had three great players in the team at Gale, AB, and yet they still didn't win it. So I think maybe this year, I think it's more about less pressing. And I don't want to sound horrible intentionally, but I think this is probably the best chance of winning the IPL this year because once you go back to India, I don't know how it
Absolutely.
performs. So it's probably their best chance. If
I
you
totally agree with you because I also feel the addition of Morris in the team has really boosted the bowling as well because Morris is so miserly with his bowling, and even the game against Rajasthan when he bowled those death overs, and he took those wickets, and he went for so few. I mean, I think he's been a great addition. He's really boosted this bowling lineup. I think the only issue with RCB is a guy like Siraj. I don't like the side of him in the team in a way because I feel he gives too many runs away. He's very expensive, so I prefer to keep this team the way it is. At the moment, in a way, I'd like to give Negi a chance as well as a spinner to come into the team because I think he deserves his chance as the tournament goes in. Negi needs to come in as the third spinner. Because I mean RCB has got quite a few spinners at the moment. They've got Sampa. I don't know if Sampa is going at much game time at the moment. But I'd like to see Negi in the team. He offers so much with his fielding as well. He's such an amazing fielder as well. So RCB's got some options to play with this year. As opposed to years gone by where the bowling's always been the issue with RCB. They've always had the
yeah,
batting power, but it's always been
yeah.
the bowling that's let them down. I think this year they've managed to get the bowling right. They managed to restrict teams, which in years gone by.
Yeah. On a final note, I know you're not a fan of Mumbai, but we got to give this team credit because initially at the beginning of the tournament, I thought Mumbai were not going to have a chance of IPL, meaning that I remember when they played IPL last in these conditions, they were pretty dismal until they came back to India and they did great. But this year they've been off the charts, man. I've been really, really impressed by them, and I won't be surprised if they do win this. But I wouldn't write off your team, but I think they'll know deep inside the two Daredevils. I mean, and obviously it'll be interesting to see if my team make playoffs. I would love that to happen, even if it's at the expense of CSK. But one team's got to miss out, and then yeah, and it'll be kind of fun if we have my team versus your team in the finals. That'd be kind of cool.
I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of them, but I just don't fancy them, But you can't really deny it. I mean, they're playing some good cricket, I think a couple of games they, crossed the line. I think they played some opponents which they've been in so far, teams like Sunrisers, KKR.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to Rajasthan. They've been able to dominate these teams. These teams are not playing good cricket themselves. So Mumbai have been able to dominate them. But the games against SK and RCB are going to be very interesting to watch, to see, because I don't think they're going to have easy games against RCB, and I don't think they're going to have an easy game against CSK. And if you results a lot of tournaments, CSK always beat them in the preliminary rounds, in the group stages. They always beat them away. Most of it's just that when it comes to the knockout games, Mumbai have an SK. But over this year, I would, CSK is obviously going to have a big say in who finishes fourth. They're really going to have a big say in who finishes fourth and who finishes top of the log. Because I think top of the log to it, has a lot of importance as well. Because you don't have to go to an eliminator. Okay,
yes.
I mean, you probably have you probably play the fourth team. So out of that table, so which would be an easier game. But there's no easy game in the IPL. But it's every team's target to finish top. And I'm not writing RCB. RCB can even finish. RCB can finish top of the log here. So there are no teams out of the running here at the moment. But to me, personally, the team that's really impressed me so far has been Delhi, with their pace attack and their batting, everything is just clicking with them. They have the luck of the green at the moment. And, they just, they say losing is a habit, and then winning becomes a habit as well. And teams are thinking, how are they gonna, how do they beat this team? They're trying to find formulas and way to this team. I know MI beat them the other day, but having too many of those up and down games, and you just saw. I mean, after that MI game, they came back with two strong performances against Rajasthan and against CSK. So to me, they're the form team of the tournament. But RCB are still going to have a big say in this, and so will MI.
Yeah.
And so will CSK. So there's a lot of teams that are going to have a big say as to how this table is going to pan out and how this table finish off at the end.
Yeah. On a final note, I think Mumbai would be my team of favor that they're beating SK and the other team on the way, because they'll probably have a lot of breathing space, because KKR, I think that KKR can. But then, not to be bullish, right? They have mentioned about my team a number of times not putting in their best performance yet. That's a scary thing, because if they're still winning despite all that, imagine when it's getting to the finishing end and they start playing really off the charts, then yeah, they could maybe pull this off out of the rabbit when no one probably expects it. So I can probably look at it as a positive. My team hasn't delivered yet, because if they do start to deliver and they win, that'd be pretty.
Look, I mean, you're hitting your 10 tournament. I mean, you should be picking up momentum. Look, I don't think KKR's batting has been very good in this tournament. the inclusion of in the team, yesterday. I mean,
Mm.
he's a revelation. He's going to be very, very dangerous towards the back end of the, and if he can bowl the way he bowled yesterday, then KKR a very good chance of making the playoffs, and thereafter, anything's possible. But I just thought his inclusion in the team, because Cummins has been quite disappointing. He hasn't really got it in the tournament so far with the ball. I think his inclusion has been so vital to KKR, because they turned an ordinary performance yesterday into a winning performance. So I think hats off to the team managing him. I think he deserves his place in the team, and I think he's going to keep his place in the team.
Okay. Well, on that note, it was, as usual, great chatting to you, and we shall catch up again, my friend.
Chat to you soon, Chun.